Good evening. My name is Kyle Drypulcher. I'm one of the guidance counselors here at Brexville-Broadview Heights High School. Welcome to the annual meeting for College Credit Plus. This was a program formerly known as Post-Secondary Education Opportunity Program, or PSEO. As many of you probably knew it previously, there have been a lot of changes. College Credit Plus is the new program. Some very significant differences from what maybe some of you might know of PSEO, whether you had older siblings or older students you knew who participated. So this evening we have three speakers for you. We have Mr. Jack Naris, who is joining us from the Ohio Department of Education, speaking a little bit about the law of College Credit Plus, which runs through the Ohio Board of Regents. We have a representative from Cuyahoga Community College, Ms. Patricia Sweeney, who will be talking to you about the opportunities offered at Tri-C. And we also have Mr. Greg Landis from the University of Akron. So each of them is going to speak. We will talk a little bit about just some of the overviews on our end at the high school, what we expect from our students, and towards the end, if anyone has any questions and would like to come up and speak with one of the reps or one of the counselors at the end, feel free to do so. So without much further ado, Mr. Jack Naris.
Good evening. I know that I've been here for I don't know how many years, 10, 12, 14 years on this particular night. And I have to start by saying and repeating what Kyle just said, in that whereas in the past I talked about post-secondary enrollment options, PSEO, tonight I'm talking about College Credit Plus, which is a new program which has been authorized by the Ohio legislature and which will start next year. As far as what I'm about to say, I have put my words in writing in this particular handout which was given to you, and all I have put in this handout are the words from the law. I have added no words, there's no interpretation. What I want to do is go over with you and tell you and read over with you some of the words that are in the law. Only because I think, and as I said here at the top of the presentation I gave you, this replaces post-secondary enrollment options, but this particular program now is administered by the Ohio Board of Regents, which is the same as the colleges and universities in the state of Ohio. It is not administered by the Ohio Department of Education. It's implemented in the high schools and even the junior high schools or middle schools, but it's administered by the colleges, and we have to keep that in mind. I'm going to just point out to you certain sections of the law that I think you have to keep in mind, and you may say, well, you remember this from post-secondary enrollment options, and if you do, you do. But the fact still remains, this is the law about College Credit Plus. Halfway down the page, there's a statement that says, a secondary grade student, and by that they mean here grades 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then later on in the law, where it says it in the law, it'll say that it also involves students that are in grades 7 and 8. But a secondary grade student who is a resident of the state of Ohio may enroll in a college on a full or part-time basis and complete the non-sectarian, non-remedial courses for high school and college credit simultaneously. The next sentence, second line, says the student receives transcripted credit from the college. So it's something that goes on the college transcript. And later on it'll say it'll also go on the high school transcript. On the next page, they talk about the conditions for participating in the program. And one of the requirements for the program in that number 1 says that someone who intends to participate in the College Credit Plus program next year shall inform the principal or the principal's designee by April 1st of that intention to participate next year. Number 2 says that that student, that participant, shall apply to an Ohio college. And it says, or an eligible participating out-of-state college. But that out-of-state college would have to be recognized and approved by the Ohio Board of Regents, who administers the program. So the student, though, has to apply to the college, the same way a student will apply to a college after the 12th grade. In the third item, it says that a student has 2 options. The first option is to receive only college credit and pay for it yourself. Or the second option is to receive both college and high school credit and have it paid for at no cost to the participant. Those are the 2 choices that are out there. Number 4 says that the student and the student's parent shall sign a form provided by the student's school stating that they receive counseling and that they understand what's going on in the program. So not only do you have to inform the school by April 1st, you also have to sign a form that says that you received the counseling. On the third page, in the third paragraph, it says any student enrolled in grades 7 and 8, and I mentioned that before, may also participate, but they have to follow those requirements that I mentioned on the page before about the April 1st, applying to the college, and so forth. The next paragraph on that third page says that the participating secondary schools, Brecksville Broadview Heights High School, shall provide counseling services to students who express an interest in participating in the program, and it lists those particular areas where the counseling will be given. To the seventh dash item, it says that it's communicating the possible consequences, and the first of those is the consequence of failing or not completing a course. So failing or not completing. The next page will tell you what that is. A major difference, though, in the program in College Credit Plus is the last paragraph, which you have to understand. The awarding of grades and the calculation of class standing for College Credit Plus courses shall be the equivalent of the school's policy for courses taken under advanced standing or for honors courses. If the policy includes awarding a weighted grade or enhancing a student's class standing for these courses, the policy shall also provide for these procedures to be applied to the College Credit Plus courses. So they're the same weight or standing, as far as GPA is concerned, as the advanced placement or honors courses that you take at the high school. In the next page, the first thing they talk about at the top is that the secondary school has a responsibility to publish model course pathways. And then the last paragraph on that page talks about the fact that there shall be 2 model pathways for students. One shall be a 15 credit hour model pathway, and the other shall be a 30 credit hours pathway. It's not to say that the student has to participate in those pathways. It just said that the model has to be out there to give them guidance as to what are the courses in a 15-hour pathway or a 30-hour pathway. Whether a student participates in that or not is a student's option. I'm still on that page. The third paragraph says payments made for public secondary school participants shall be deducted from the school's school foundation program. That means that if you choose that second option that I talked about before, the payment for the course, the textbooks, the materials, and the fees that are associated with that course then are paid by Brecksville Broadview High School or the school district. The next paragraph, if a public secondary school determines that a CCP participant has not attained a passing grade, the school may seek reimbursement from the participant or the participant's parent for the money that the school district had to pay for that course being taken. And the last sentence in that paragraph says the school may withhold grades and credits until reimbursement is made. That's that consequence that I was talking about on the previous page of failing the course. The second last paragraph on that page says that the student's record, you might use the word transcript, shall indicate that the credits were earned as college credit plus credits and shall name the college at which the credits were earned on the transcript. On the second last page, they then have rules. So what I just read to you were the words from the law. Now they set the Ohio Department of Education or the Ohio Board of Regents sets rules, procedures, and they've said that in setting the procedures, they don't want to repeat any words that were in the law. So these are additional words that have been put in as rule or as procedure. And the first one just says that textbooks include paper, which we're all used to, or electronic or other purchased coursework materials. The fourth paragraph says a student participating in College Credit Plus may not take more than 30 college credit hours during an academic year. The next paragraph requires some thought. It says to determine the annual number of college credits a student may participate in, take the number of secondary units scheduled by the secondary school for which the student receives only secondary school credit. How many periods in a school day at Brecksville Broadview? 9? So 9, they can earn 9 Carnegie units in a year.
8, I'm sorry,
8, okay, 8.
Apologize, 8.
So take the number of secondary units scheduled by them for instruction, which is 8, and then it says, then multiply that number by 3, 24. Then subtract the result from 30. That means you're eligible to take 6 hours at the college. If you're earning only 6 Carnegie units of credit in the high school, times 3, that would be 18. Subtracted from 30 means you're eligible to take 12 hours in the year. So take the number of Carnegie units being earned at the high school, multiply by 3, subtract from 30, tells you how many hours you're eligible to take. The second last paragraph says enrollment in College Credit Plus does not circumvent a participant's obligation to take required end-of-the-course examinations. You know that those are coming. The last paragraph, a college credit course transcripting 3 or more semester credit hours shall count as 1 full high school credit. That's a change. 3-hour course, 3 or more. So if it's 3 or 4, that earns one high school credit. Next paragraph says if it's less than 3, then you get only a proportion of the full college credit. The last paragraph on the last page there says an institution of higher learning may provide online instruction in college level courses if those certain conditions are met regarding the online course. Again, what I've done is highlight the words in the law that apply to this course and try and give you an overview of what the content of College Credit Plus is.
And I know we've been here, we've heard with some great speakers, you've gotten a lot of information. So I briefly want to just go through the green packet with you. If you want to take a look at the first page, and again, much of this was covered with our speakers. Some important things to keep in mind. You still must meet your high school graduation requirements. I'm looking at number 2 on the front page. In order to earn your high school diploma. So make sure you're reviewing the requirements and knowing your academic standing, making sure, again, the classes that you're taking are going to qualify for what you need with your English and your math and your history in those core requirements. Scheduling might be difficult or impossible at times due to scheduling conflicts. So please keep in mind that you might not be able to have the best of both worlds in terms of having every class you want at the high school and every class you want at your institution of choice for College Credit Plus. So we will talk to you at the end of the year, typically like we all do with students who have questions about scheduling, but keep that in mind. College level work. You students, as College Credit Plus students, need to be independent. Colleges do not report to us if students are struggling, at least not until the very end of the semester when we're getting grades. So if you need help, it's important to utilize college support services when needed at the school, whether that's meeting with a professor during office hours or somewhere on campus. Transportation, pretty straightforward. Make sure you can get to your classes on time. You need to be responsible for knowing how much time you're going to need. If you have a class at Tri-C or Akron, what is my timeline for getting back to BBHHS if I have a class at 1 o'clock? You know, if my college class gets out at 11 or 11:30. So keep that in mind. Extracurriculars, I think the biggest thing, if you're an athlete, you still have to maintain your athletic eligibility. We follow the same rules as OHSAA with the College Credit Plus courses. So review those regulations. If need be, ask your counselor. And we do also look at the school-wide 1.5 minimum GPA. If you go on the second page, I know our speakers really did touch on some of the positives and negatives or advantages or disadvantages of the College Credit Plus style of education. So I would encourage you to take time to review those at home, let this sink in. I know it's a lot to take in. So really, read over the advantages, read over the risks, and think about what the best choice is for you. You want to follow me to page 3, where it says steps to follow at the top. As Mr. Naris did tell you, you need to notify your district of your intent to participate by April 1st if you've planned to enroll for the following year. So what we did is we kind of gave you a quick step-by-step process for you to keep in mind. Number 1, and you're doing this right now, discuss your plan with your parents. Talk about what you heard, what's best for you, and if you want to move forward. You want to meet with the post-secondary institution staff. I know they have some great orientation nights coming up, or events rather. I would encourage you to come to the guidance office. You might want to take an unofficial copy of your transcript. Could be helpful while you're there. Number 3 and number 4 kind of go in tandem. Number 3 is complete the necessary post-secondary admission and registration forms. So we talked about their application deadlines, what they expect from you. Obviously, through that process, you're going to need an official high school transcript from us, from the guidance office. So you also kind of, while you're going through that process, you want to meet with your counselor, discuss the program, how it's going to fit with your educational goals. If you decide to participate, you and your parents and guardian, again, must sign the statement indicating you've received the information on the program, the counseling, and that you're going to accept those responsibilities. Please turn to page 4 quickly. The form that we're referring to is the last page, page 4. So this is the form that needs to be turned in, and if you look at the bold lettering, the crucial date is April 1st, 2015. Excuse me. Number 5. So I know we talked also about the 15 and 30 credit hour pathways, and the purpose of that through College Credit Plus is to give students an idea of you're taking college courses, but what's your primary objective? What's the end game here? I'm sure many of you have seen this in the past. It is your options book, your course options book. It is online this year. You can find it on the high school website. It's in our featured posts. So it's a PDF file. 2 pages, if everybody maybe wants to take a note or write this down. Page 41 has a 15 and 30 credit hour pathway for some student who might be pursuing education. And page 102 has both a 15 and a 30 credit hour pathway if a student were to pursue engineering. Again, those are just samples. So those gives you an idea of what you can plan your schedule out to be towards a degree or a major of your choice. Withdrawing. So you must file withdrawal forms of the post-secondary institution if you do end up, that you no longer want to participate. Failure to file the necessary paperwork may result in a failing grade. A withdrawal may also result in a financial obligation to the student and parent. I say may, so that's something to keep in mind. Really think this over. Think if this program is right for you. Because this is a new program, rules are ever evolving, and we will probably have the more information going towards March. So we will provide information to you as it's received from the Ohio Board of Regents. So please monitor your school email. Please monitor the high school website. We will get information out to you as quickly as we can as we receive it, really focusing on the most important parts and what pertains to you. The last part I wanted to mention, if you are a parent without your child tonight or a child without their parent, please go out before you leave and see our secretaries out front. We want to put a kind of an indication by your name, and whomever was not attending tonight, make sure that they're there tomorrow at the makeup meeting, which again is 7:30 a.m. It's going to be in the LGI, room 135 here at the high school. So that is it for our program. Thank you for coming. I know if folks have any questions, our representatives and counseling staff will be up here, help you the best we can. So thank you.